locking it in like a professional slate. I am doing that, guys. Everybody, welcome back to the podcast, Obnoxious Valid Points. It is just Mateo today. Marcus is out of town. He is traveling. Hopefully he's not getting caught in the millions of tornadoes around Middle America, because I believe that's where he went. Let's see. I had a guest lined up. Guest was sick, so you'll see. It'll be we got a handful of really good guests coming in. Anyway, this week it's just me. Like I said, slating because we are putting the podcast on video also. It's on YouTube. I don't know if you're familiar with this website. YouTube. Yes, YouTube. You can find it there. It's Obnoxious Valid Points under YouTube. Trying to have the episodes out on Tuesdays now, so plan your week accordingly. I don't know if you're plan when you're doing your math, or plan when you're cheating on your wife, plan whenever you're, buying steroids, whatever you guys do, whatever you guys are into, cheating on your taxes. I just things that I think that, people that enjoy my comedy would be into. Arguing with family. I'm not sure. Trying to run a scam somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. Pretend that you won the Publishers Clearinghouse. I don't know. Whatever you're into. Yeah, just try to set your Tuesday mornings aside for me. That's what I want. That's all I want. I want everybody to watch it on Tuesdays. So yeah, doing audio and video. Putting a lot of the old episodes up, kind of slowly trickling there. You can subscribe there. You can subscribe everywhere else. Let's see. We have a new layout. If you're watching this on video, you're like, oh, wow, the layout's different. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's probably better. It may be, and we're not sure. It may work out. Or I may go back to how it was next week. So we'll see. See what else is good with you, with me, with us. This is our time. You can see behind me, you see the album from last week, or 2 weeks ago, Alan Strickland Williams, ran through. That's the vinyl copy. You can see it. It didn't show up well whenever we had the lighting. We set it up, and then I had to move something, and I didn't realize it was just all glare. Anyway, if you see it over my shoulder, yeah, pick that up. It's on vinyl. If you like physical media, if you want to download it, just go there. AlanStricklandWilliams.com. You can order it or order the vinyl. But enough of housekeeping stuff. Let me tell you about this week. This week, I just got out of a restaurant experience, and I went to my friend. She invited me. She does she audits these places. She gets paid to do this. It's kind of cool, and I get a free meal out of it. So it's usually national chain kind of places. And this specific restaurant, it was out in the suburbs. I forget what normal people are like. I forget that there's just like people that just park and walk into a place, and they're not like trying to go live on Instagram all the time. I get so into Los Angeles that I forget what places are like outside. And it's not even like, it's not like we were really far away. It was like 15 minutes outside of Hollywood, and it was just like, oh, people are normal again. This is nice. It's not like. Not everybody's trying to tag and collaborate and sell brands and sell merch. It was just normal people. They're, wearing cargo shorts at a restaurant. And I was just like, for some people in LA, that's like tragic. I was just like, this is like being back. This is like being back at Chili's or Applebee's in Oklahoma. And I worked in restaurants. I can appreciate a good chain restaurant. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not everything, but it's also. I get why people like it. I'm not going to name it because I'm just not going to. I had a friend that worked there, must have been 10, 12 years ago. He's gone crazy since then. So the restaurant, no matter how good of a meal I eat at this restaurant, I'm always going to think about my crazy friend who lost his mind during COVID. And he was a server there for a little bit. He was trying to be an actor in LA. We all were. He had a better career. He's had a better career than me. He did a science fiction movie with one of the guys from Beverly Hills 90210. And he had like speaking parts and stuff like that. Two friends in it. It was, I'm not even going to name it, but it was. Anyway, yeah, he lost his mind. I haven't kept in track with him. I think he lives somewhere in Middle America now. But every time I go into that restaurant, I always think of him. And no matter what it smells like, what I have to drink, what I have to eat, what the service is like, that's always going to be on my mind. It's always going to be that stigma, that place. And I don't know. It's just the restaurants have gone insane. It was like $70 for two people. You know, it. I know this is a really hot take, Matt. Yeah, restaurants have gone up and gotten to be too expensive. Really, Matt? Really, tell us more about this. I just don't. I don't get it. And then there's the tipping mechanism. I don't. This is a controversial take because I have friends that work in the service industry, and they'll probably disagree with this. I don't believe you should have to tip at a restaurant. That if it's a national chain, if they have like stockholders or banks or something, because the idea of tipping, I get it. Like, hey, you did a good job. Yeah, I'm gonna pat you on the head or whatever. It feels very like I don't know. It feels condescending. I mean, people want money. I get that. It gives them, time to spend with their family or pursuing other things. I get that. I understand that. But here's my thing, especially with like a national chain. With a mom and pop restaurant, I do believe in tipping, absolutely. But whenever it's like, like they're going to pay like stockholders in a bank first, and they're going to get more money because you pitched in on the tip, and I don't like that. I feel like they should just pay their employees more. Like Starbucks, perfect example. Starbucks, they make I think like $5 billion a quarter. Okay, and part of that is because you and I, the customers, I'm assuming you and I aren't shareholders. I know I'm not, but we're subsidized. We're keeping their employees employed there because we pay. That's weird. It's like we're paying for the coffee and we're paying for the labor. And it just rubs me wrong, And I'm all for places making money. I'm not anti. I'm not like Fidel Castro on this thing. I'm not. I don't want to burn down mansions. I just pay your employees. If you're making money, pay your employees so I don't have to. Why do I have to buy things and then cover the bill for you? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't go to a restaurant and go, you need money for guacamole, or you need extra money for It's just like, what are we doing? Why am I paying? That's just. I know it's very archaic and very old man and it sounds like an angry man in the comments. Maybe that's what I'm becoming. Oh, yeah. You can also tell somebody who's never worked in a restaurant before, they're like, oh man, the service here is so slow. They're not immediately taking our order. I was just like, you know what? It's okay. We're here, we're talking, we're having a conversation. We didn't come here to just sit across from each other, shove food in our mouths and part ways and walk out. It's like we can catch up and talk about things and oh cool, what have you been up to? You caught any movies? Blah blah blah. Like I'm doing on my podcast. Sometimes going out to dinner is like a podcast that you eat during. That's I don't know. Oh man. But yeah, you could tell somebody's never. Whenever you go to a restaurant, somebody's never worked in food service before, because they're just like, they're just so mad and upset. And these unreasonable. They're never satisfied. They are never satisfied. I mean, like, I noticed that tonight. She's a sweetheart, but just. I worked at a restaurant. When I was in high school. I worked in like food service before. I worked in like fast food. I think fast food was like my first job. Yeah. Taco Bueno in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Bean Machine, we called it, because we were very clever. And that was, one thing. And then I worked at a restaurant after that. And the restaurant is still open, despite me and my idiot friends. It was like three or four guys from my high school. And it was chaos. It was fun. We used to play pranks on each other and, we'd steal food from the restaurant. And alcohol was great. It was just, we were at a barbecue restaurant in Tulsa. It was called the Rib Crib. It's been 30 years. It's still open. I think they're not nationwide, but I think they're regional. And I before then I had no idea how restaurants worked. And after that, I feel like I have the right to complain about restaurants. Does that make sense? It's just Like I've earned my stripes, like I can walk into a place and I can tell you walk into a restaurant and it's like, oh, they're training a new waiter. You can see like they're serving that kind of, they're shadowing somebody else, or it was just like, oh, they got new fixtures in. You can tell because they're still clean and they've already been like the plastic signs or something. It's like they don't get wiped down unless it's like a really slow day. You could tell if like the silverware has been rolled in the napkins ahead of time, or if they just did it like really quick. Because whenever somebody walked in, they're just doing it like once at a time. Usually it's like between 2 and 4 p.m. is when you're supposed to be rolling those kind of things. I've learned these things. We used to do like little tricks, like when the restaurant was slow, especially in the afternoons, like a Saturday or Sunday, like the in between lunch and dinner, our manager would teach us to pull all of our cars around front to make it look like the restaurant was busy, because no one wants to go to a restaurant and be the only people in there and feel like you're like some kind of ghost effect. So what you do is you pull in all the cooks, all the wait staff, all the dishwashers, the manager goes around, pulls their car from around the employee parking to the front. So there, people are like, oh, cool. I mean, this looks like the place to go. Nobody wants to be the only person in a restaurant. If you want to be the only person in a restaurant, it'd be like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. It'd be like just a very scary, you're just being served by ghosts. No, so like 1 or 2 cars come in, and then you slowly pull all the cars back. So you open up the parking spots, and then you're just back to normal. It's like giving CPR to your business. That's I've learned little tricks like that. I feel I can complain. I have the right to complain. It's like I need stripes whenever I go into a restaurant. And it was just like, I can tell you, someone's not bussing the tables. I can tell, And I worked at Rib Crib in Tulsa, Oklahoma, late 90s or 2000s. It's just like I have the right to complain, and I'm not going to be rude about it. I'm not going to I'm not going to go Karen on it. I'm not going to be like one of those people in a viral video you see, throwing crap at a Burger King employee. It's just like, you messed up my onion rings. I'm not going to be that guy. It's just, first of all, if you're complaining and you're throwing a fit, these are still people that are making your food. You know what I mean? You're like, well, what's the upside? What are you going to win? Okay. Are you doing that for like a free apple pie? What's going on? I don't know. That's the. I'm allowed to work. I'm allowed to complain. I'm allowed to complain, and I will only. I don't know, man. I think. That's the other thing is like there's certain restaurants I know it's like this where I was born in Oklahoma, where like they don't pay the wait staff anything. They pay them like $2 an hour because it's like legally it's okay to. Like, what the hell? How are you expecting to have the same wait staff? Well, what are we doing? Is this? I don't know how. That's what I was always used to. When you come out here, it's like people get like, I think you make minimum wage, and plus plus your tips. So that could be like you can make $30-$40 an hour, which is really good. When it's busy, and you're not going to work 40 hours a week doing that. You're not making $40 an hour. That'd be great, but unless it's like some kind of high-end steakhouse. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what's going on now. But okay, I guess I'd have to put a caveat on that. If you're in one of those weird states where they can pay people slave labor, yeah, you should have to tip. Yeah, I don't know. This country's weird. Yeah, I've never lived anywhere else, but I will say that's weird. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. Whatever. I was happy. I was excited to see somebody back in the news. Elizabeth Holmes is quasi back in the news this week. Elizabeth Holmes, she was the lady boss, the CEO of Theranos, the blood research, blood testing. I don't know when this came out. I never knew when it came out, but I saw all the documentaries about it, and I learned about it like post haste because I was never somebody who was like, oh, she was on Good Morning America. I'm not gonna watch Good Morning America. I don't, Michael Strahan, cool, whatever. Robin Roberts. It was like recycled ESPN characters, but yeah, she was. I don't know if you remember Theranos, Elizabeth Holmes. She wanted to. You just prick your finger with blood, and it would tell you what's wrong with you, like, oh, you have malaria, da 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 da. Just a little sample, da da da. She was completely faking all the results. She got millions and millions, maybe billions. I'm not exactly sure. She was just like a big fake. She dropped out of Stanford. They thought she was gonna be like the Mark Zuckerberg, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs. She tried to be Steve Jobs. She would wear black turtlenecks. She would talk like this. This is like my voice. She would talk like this. She'd talk like, I don't know who she would talk like, but it was just, it was like when Will Ferrell was doing the Janet Reno impression. If that doesn't age me by like 30, 40 years, it was very, very. But that wasn't even her real voice. Sometimes it would come out, and it was always funny. And she would like panic. And she was doing an act. She was doing a character. She was doing an act. She was an SNL character, but it wasn't. And she. Yeah, I think she's in jail now. But she was in jail for defrauding people. She was in jail for defrauding billionaires. And I feel like that's not a bad thing. I feel like it wasn't a bad thing to defraud a billionaire. If you're a billionaire and you're just handing out money, that's kind of on you. You know what I mean? If she was like ripping off mom and pop investors, like an Enron thing or something like that, or Tyco, or I don't doing some scamming, or people on a Bitcoin, like Dogecoin or something like that. She's scamming people. She's scamming regular investors. I'm done with her. But she's scamming billionaires. She's scamming, like, I don't know. She was like Jack Welch. She was she was scamming like like stockbrokers, like the Lehman Brothers or Goldman Sachs CEOs. Yes, scam them. I'm happy with that. Anyway, so she's in jail. Her partner, I keep referring to the man as her partner. I don't know if it's her boyfriend. I don't know if it's guy. I don't know if she's engaged. I don't know if it's a fiance thing. The guy that I'm assuming she bones whenever she has conjugal visits. He's out, and he was never part of the story. He's new to the story. He has a new product, and he's taking it to market, and he's trying to get investors for it. What does it do? It tests your blood. It tests your blood for diseases and cancer and high cholesterol and diabetes or whatever. He's got the exact same. He's got the exact same discovery. He's got the exact same invention that his girlfriend had. And he's likely hitting the exact same investors up too. And it's just like, read the room, bro. I mean, how do you do that and be like stupid Elizabeth Holmes? I mean, is this like Fire Festival? Like, oh, there's something back from 2016. Let's bring that back too. That didn't work either. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I am in favor of a good scam. I'm in favor of a good Ponzi scheme. I only want to rip off rich people. I'm in favor of that. Like I said, as long as you're not like screwing your employees over and like not paying your wages, or you're not paying your suppliers, that's wrong. But yeah, if somebody who has billions of dollars, and that's clearly what they're, Mark Andreessens of the world, the tech demons, the same people. It's like the people that ran Uber. It was just like, they're horrible people. Rip them off. Fine. I'm all in favor of it. I don't know. That's. I can go with this. There's it's a new big local news in LA. There's a new talent booker, one of the big clubs. I know her. I know of her. I don't think we were. It was more of hey. It was somebody I would nod at. It's not somebody I hugged. It's not somebody I handshake or dap up. It was just somebody, just give the nod. Yeah. She was never a comedian. She never aspired to be. I respect the fact that she wasn't a comedian. I think she actually has a legitimate love for the art. It's a big club. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but I do know that she used to run a podcast with one comedian who's dark but funny, and then let's see, another comedian who probably the worst human being I ever know. And she ran a podcast with him for years. And I've said this before. Some people think like comedians are gonna be like are trying to be like secretly misogynistic or racist or homophobic or some level of hateful. I don't believe that. I've been doing this in the city of Los Angeles for however many years, 10, 12, 15 years, and I've met maybe 5 people that were legitimately horrible people that were those kind of phobics, the racist, transphobic, hateful, misogynistic. She was doing a podcast with a guy who used to who beat up his girlfriend with an umbrella. She was a tiny chick, and he's not much bigger, but it was like well known. It was well documented. We all knew it. It was somebody who nobody ever thought was funny. He used to run an open mic. He used to run an open mic at his apartment, and that was people. And this guy beat his girlfriend, who was a comedian, and we all knew who she was. But people would still go to his house and tell jokes at his house because that's what he had. He had a house. It was in the freaking ghetto of Los Angeles, and so many people will do anything for stage time. I'm not one of those people. I'm funny enough. I don't need all the stage time in the world. There's times when you do need to work new jokes out. I'm not gonna go hang out with a woman beater. Anyway, so long story. That's neither here nor there. I'm not gonna get into that. But she used to run a podcast with this guy, and so I'm assuming she thinks he's funny. She thinks that he was funny because partnered up with him. And it was on a legitimate podcast network. Not going to name it. Not going to do that. But I want to impress her because I want to get bookings. So this is a decision I made recently. I've got to do something about that. I think I'm gonna get in a relationship. I definitely think that. I think I'm ready to get in a relationship, and I want to beat my girlfriend because I want to get on her radar. I don't want to beat a woman, but I want the bookings that she may have for me, and I think it could really help my career. I want to beat the hell out of a woman, not because she's a bad person, not because she's done anything wrong to me or anything, but I want more opportunities to showcase in front of popular people in Los Angeles. That's the stage time I want. I want that. It's time to get things moving in the big direction. I need to be signed one of the big 3. I need to get some CAA, IMG kind of thing going on. 3 arts. I should be. I should be having one of these non-existent sitcoms, Basically, my goal is I want to be able to have a podcast where I can afford my own engineer and I don't have to do that myself. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna get in a relationship, and we'll see where the romance goes. We'll see if that's happening. If it happens, that's a bonus. But I really just want to beat I just want to beat this one. I want to beat this woman who I haven't decided who I'm going to date, so I can get more bookings. I think that's the move. That's what will get me on her radar. I also have a backup plan if I don't think that'll work. Maybe I'm not. No shame, no shade thrown or anything like that. I'm not a gay man, but maybe if I can, to avoid beating a woman, I will get in a gay relationship. I will get in a homosexual relationship and beat him up too, so I can impress this talent booker. Maybe this is how people think. This is how Scientology got popular, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Not so much in the comedy game, but the entertainment game. You got to go with that. That's why everybody votes for the same political party. You have to do what you have to do. You have to, we all like the exact same thing. We want to, if everybody's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I'm going to wear a Patrick Mahomes jersey. That's how it's going to go. I will sell out. That's absolutely. I'm not a gay man, but I will get in a I will get in a homosexual relationship, and I will beat the hell out of the man I date, so I can get. Yes, yes, that's where I'm letting you in. I'm letting you in to know what's going on. If you hear any changes, if you hear any, if you see any status changes on my social media, you see what's going on. You see, but a relationship, everybody's like telling the girl, run. That's the other thing is, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to beat a woman up, but I do want more stage time. I mean, especially it's like, we're talking Sunset Boulevard here. We're talking big time. We're talking name on the marquee kind of things. That's what I want. You're gonna put people like this in charge. I'm gonna talk shit about it. Okay, well, what do I got to lose? I don't know. Maybe I could just start a rumor that I beat up a woman. There's enough stories out there where you're like, all the comics that got ran out of town, and they were like, if she starts bringing them back, oh my god, that would be so hilarious. That's what I need to do. I need to get Me Too'd. I need to get Me Too'd to improve my career. I need the press. That's what I need. I want people back home to think I made it. So I need to have assault charges pressed against me so I can have a comeback story. Everybody roots for the underdog. There we go. Yes. Got to be the Kurt Warner of the comedy game. Nobody would have liked Kurt Warner if he would have just been an average quarterback. But they like the sacking grocery story. They like to hear that. John Starks from my neighborhood. He was from Tulsa, and he was working at Safeway, and then 2 years later he's in the NBA. Those are good stories. They didn't have to beat up a woman or pretend to be gay and then beat their boyfriend up to get into the professional sports. That's I don't know, man. It's it's kind of weird doing this by myself. It's kind of a good muscle though. I think. I don't know. It's a little bit of a writing exercise. I don't know. I'm doing weird things with my hands. I gotta pay attention to that. I don't know. It's Donald Trump got a new plane. Good for him. Good people of Qatar. I do have experience with Qatar. Okay, so here's another experience where I worked in a tipping industry. I drove Uber. I drove Uber in 2015 and 2016, I believe. And it was a miserable experience. You had to rely solely on tips. Like I said, it was a tech demon company. And here's the thing: it's a good idea. Hey, use your phone. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to go. I want to go to this restaurant, and I'm going to drink. So take me there, and somebody will pick you up. And I'm a fan of that. I love that. But as an Uber driver, who you weren't getting paid shit. You were getting paid garbage money, and you had to rely on tips. One time, this was 2015, I was driving. I picked up these two gentlemen. I believe they were from, and I was a sociable. I would talk to people when I was driving because I was just like, we're in a car. Let's, if they didn't want to talk, if they had their own phone call, if they were doing their own thing, I wouldn't I'd shut up. If somebody wanted to talk to me, I'd talk. I was no problem with that. There was these two guys. They were going to downtown LA. I don't remember where from. I think Koreatown maybe. It was these two guys that were from Qatar. They told me, or I believe it's Qatar, is how it's pronounced. Qatar. Anyway, good tippers. They were good tippers. They said at the time, they were just like, so I have to ask, is this the horrible accent? We have to ask, is this because they were, first generation or new across the board. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but they were like, do you have other reason to be here? We're looking at the money we're spending on this, and you can't be making that much money. I was like, you have no idea. I was like, because you make like, the driver makes like 30-40% of the rate, and I was just like, well, I'm acting, I'm a comedian. It was like, oh, we'd love to hear a joke. And I was just like, oh, fuck. Because it's like one of the things is like, no comedian likes to be put on the spot. Especially it's just like, it's going to be like we're like 10 minutes away. This is like, if this joke, it was like, great, I got to tell these guys a joke now. And I tried to cater the joke to the audience because it was these two guys, clearly have oil money, I could tell, just looking at them. And they go, I said, well, I invented something. It's a kosher bottle of water, kosher drinking water. And it was just like, yeah, it's available in stores. And they're just like, really? I go, yeah, the name of it's called The Thirst Israel. And these Qatari dudes, they laughed out their ass. They thought it was funny, and they go, here you go. And handed me a $20 bill, and just straight up like that. And I was just like, oh god, this is great. And I was just like, so it was like I basically doubled what I was making on the thing, and they were like, they were laughing about it. They were like texting. So it was really funny. They wanted me to. I was like, it felt really good. I got it. I was like, I felt like a server again. And then I told them another joke. They laughed. They gave me another $20. I don't remember. I think it was just these quick little one-liner jokes. Something I think that one may have been. I've been single. Oh no, it was. I used to date my yoga instructor. I tried to date my yoga instructor. She called it off because she didn't want me to get things twisted or something. It was just some stupid, dumb joke, little punny. Whatever. They gave me another $20. So I'm making $50 on this 15-minute ride. It was just. So yeah, I got my tips. I got my tips from the Qatar. So I understand why Donald Trump took the. What I'm saying is, I understand why Donald Trump took the free plane from the Qatari gentleman. It's a cost of doing business for them. Yeah. Why? Who doesn't want to? Who doesn't? They're gonna give it away to somebody else. Why not? Why not you take it? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's basically, is he being bribed? Absolutely. We knew what we were getting. Are you surprised? Did you vote for Donald Trump because you thought he was an upstanding gentleman? Did you because you thought he was he was like somebody who was just like, he's not corrupt. That's who I want. I'm not even gonna go be that guy, but it's just like, what is anything anymore? And I think he helped get them the PGA. He got them the Professional Golf Association. He's probably got more things coming. The New York Yankees are going to move to Qatar later. The Dodgers are going to go. Maybe you could take those two major league teams that don't have a stadium. You could take the Tampa Bay Rays and you could take the Oakland Athletic. They could send them to Qatar. That's what I want them to go to Qatar, and they could play baseball in the sand, whatever. Maybe that's their next move. And Trump will facilitate that. He's a deal maker. He's the art of the deal. He knows what he's doing. He's clear. And I'm being a sarcastic ass. So yes, they gave a $400 million plane. It's just a tip, He's running a small business, Donald Trump. It's the American government. I wonder if people in Qatar have to. I'm probably mispronouncing Qatar, whatever. You weren't going to me for geopolitical stuff anyway. It's okay. I wonder if they complain about we have to tip whenever we bribe politicians now. Anyway, guys, it's a short one. Got more episodes coming out. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I'm pretty funny. Check out the YouTube if you want to see videos of me. We're doing like little shorts kind of things. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Thanks for listening. See you later. Bye. Oh, yeah. If you want to follow the podcast, it's on Instagram. It is Obnoxious Valid Points. My social media is The Fun Matt Lewis. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Adios.
Support for Obnoxious Valid Points is not brought to you by Audible. Audible, are you too stupid to read a book? Have one read to you. You'll find no books or mentions of books at patreon.com/ovpoints.